Welcome back to another retro video right here on the channel. So this one, folks, came out of left field. I really didn't expect to ever own it. Curiosity piqued and the retro gamer and the collector in me had to get it. Okay, so let's start the story off then, set the scene. Usual little bit of Nick waffle. A while ago I managed to acquire this, the C64, the Commodore 64 Mini, which came with its own joystick and obviously 64 games on board. I've made the video, so go and check that one out in the back catalogue there to have a look at this one. These things, well, more so the 64 one, as well as the Amiga, give you the idea, not the idea, give you the chance to add as many ROMs, as many games as you like on a USB flash stick them in, boom, away you go. Please make sure, folks, you own the original copies of these games before doing the ROMs, because I'm not in any way condoning piracy or anything like that, okay? Please check your legal sides out, okay? So that's all the serious bit there. So I say, I got this, loaded up with games, the games I possessed, and away I went. And I was happy, okay? Tell you what, I'm just going to put that down on the floor there, out of the way. So, as you do, you're sitting there with coffee, on a balcony, chilling, and Amazon sends an email. Okay, so I click it and it says, because you bought this, you might like that. Thanks a lot, Amazon. So anyway, it recommended the thing I'm going to unbox today, okay? So this is going to be the VIC20 colour computer, otherwise known probably as the C64, I've just shown you there, the C64 Maxi. So what happened is, they released the C64 Mini, it was that popular, they decided to make a full-size one, which included the fully workable keyboard. So for all intensive purposes, it was a brand new C64 for, you know, our era, if you like. Okay, so, the email says, the VIC20. I'm like, okay, so my prior knowledge, of course, is the VIC20 was the little brother to the Commodore 64. A machine I've never really had an awful lot of, not so much affiliation, but to do with, to be fair. When I went to school, I remember a lad who hung around in our group who had the VIC20 and the rest of my mates had the Commodore 64s and I had the Specky, so I think I went round to his house one day and just had a quick look and I was like, yeah, okay, not really Carl 64, is it? But hey, never mind. So here we are now, enough waffle, we're nearly 3 minutes in. There's the life story, there's the intro. If you're still here, I thank you. Okay. So let's have a look at what arrived in the post. So automatically you can see, like, this is, you know, it's the size of a full-size computer. And I'll tell you what, the one thing that doesn't convey is the weight of the thing. It really is heavy. There's some proper weight in this. It's not just a machine that could be a little bit of a cheat. I'd like say a Raspberry Pi board in it or something like that with just a big case and be like, you know, as light as a feather. Nah, not this. What we're getting for our money here, folks, which I did pay in the United Kingdom £108 for at the moment, is a full-size retro computer. HDMI'd up, should we say? Apologies, folks, there's just like junk everywhere, all over the floor with all this stuff. So let's have a look at the box. So straight away, like I say, it's full size. We can see the machine itself with that lovely workable keyboard, a joystick, and it says on here, limited edition, the C64, okay? It says the VIC20 colour computer with sound and with music. I can hear you kids laughing at the back going, sound and music, that's automatic, ain't it? Well, you know, back then it wasn't, you know. Okay, so there's the side there with all the usual HDMI stuff and bits and bobs. Okay, what's this? I'm gonna end up dropping this in a minute. Okay, so it tells us the games, and now that's really interesting, okay? Because it says included games, and there's a load for the VIC20, and there's also a load for the Commodore 64 as well, which is interesting. So if you didn't get the machine I'd shown you previous, you still got a chance to play some of them 64 games with or without ROMs. So yeah, there is a list there of all the games, if anybody wants to actually pause that. Okay. On the other side here, it gives us the features. Just tells us it's all HD and the display options and all that type of stuff, which I will go through. It says, functions like an original VIC20 or Commodore 64 computer, or play any of the included games in the game's carousel. Okay, and then it goes off speaking in French to us. Yeah, so there we go. The other side of the box there, and the back of the box. Now, what's nice about this is, see the advert on the back here? This was actually on the original box, but it's actually been reshot. So, yeah, I'd seen something, I never actually knew that. I'd seen like a previous creators thing on it, but it's just nice the way they've actually, this box is as retro as you can get, because it's actually designed in the exact same way as what the original VIC20 box was. So any of you folks out there who actually owned an original VIC20, you know, it's a little nod back to you, where I've had it with various like sort of Mega Drive products and stuff like that. Okay, so let's get this open. Okay, there goes the knife, hopefully for the last time. No cut fingers. We're winning. Okay, wow. Straight away, this just hits you. I mean, let me just show you what I've just seen in the box there. Okay, so this is what we're looking at, folks. I don't know where to start here, to be fair. We've got a box saying the VIC20, which I'm presuming is the joystick. We have a lovely hard plastic cover for that keyboard. I'm just still shocked at the at the size and the weight of this. Okay, so there's the machine itself, and there's nothing else in the box. So I'm just going to remove that somewhere. Okay, and just straight away, I just want to take a minute to just actually look at this. Listen to that. Okay, so we got, it says the VIC20 in its little logo there. We've obviously got the red power LED there. You see function keys and that keyboard, and again, folks, fully functional. I mean, that in its own is just, you could go through with this. You could actually, once upon a time, you'd have computer magazines, and you'd have like listings of programs and games that people have made. You could actually sit there and type them in, save them off onto like your memory stick. So automatically, I think it has the 3 modes. It has the VIC20 to play the VIC20 games you want via USB, via the games carousel. It goes into the Commodore 64 mode. Again, same trick. You got your full scale Commodore 64 now with a beautiful keyboard that fully works. And you've got just a games carousel, which you'd use to do as almost like your Mega Drive Mini or something like that, just select your games. So if you want this just to have that little nostalgia hit, a few VIC20 games and whatever, a few Commodore 64 games, fantastic. But if you want to lift up the lid and start doing basic programming and stuff like that, you've got the option. These things come as well, where you've got all the usual screen ratios as NTSC for American folks, obviously PAL for us European-based peeps. So you've got all like your display modes and stuff like that, and this is going to have one of the joysticks, which we'll open in a minute, which like the C64 Mini has like menu buttons on. So the main function of the one on the C64 Mini was for the virtual keyboard. You now don't need it. So any of those games you'd have like sort of text adventures or anything that needs any form of like, you know, physical input on a keyboard, we've now got. So you can see my telly behind me over here. This will be hooked up after this video. Okay. Right, so let's have a look at the machine itself then. So as I say, it's in like a sort of cream colour, which is common for the machine itself. We've got like the little grills across the top. Absolutely lovely. Just, you know, just holding this alone just takes me back to like the day I went down to like my mate's house and saw it. Okay, so the side there's the front. Over here, we've got 3 USB ports and the on-off button there. Interestingly here as well, we've got a 4th USB port. Okay, HDMI and obviously the power. So what made me wonder for the 4th USB port is on the 64 Mini, you had a couple of ports, so you have like a joystick. You could plug in a USB keyboard to be able to have the function as I've spoken about earlier. And obviously like the memory stick. So this one's got like an extra one. So, I mean, I'm sure there's stuff you could do, you know, with that. But yeah, just nice though, isn't it? It's just a nice overall package. I mean, I'm going to put this on and I'm going to basically put it into VIC20 mode, and I'm just going to sit there and play all the old VIC20 games, because like I say, with the exception of maybe one or two, I think like Load Runner, things like that, back in the day, I don't think I actually really played an awful lot, you know. We went round to my mates at tea time, as Mara just put his tea out and all that, like we were all sitting in like the living room just like playing away on his machine like and stuff. So okay, right, yeah, I'm into the box now. So we have a smaller box here, and we have the joystick itself, which I will go into, which again is cream coloured the same way as the VIC20 itself. And we have the VIC20 guide, okay? So I'm just going to put this box over there on the floor. Okay, so the quick guide is basically just one of our usual multilingual books. Caution, yeah, we know not to stick like water near the electrics, don't we, and stuff, folks. We're not all silly. Epilepsy information. Unpacking, so it says we get the VIC20, the joystick, the quick guide, HMI cable, USB power cable, and a USB AC adapter. It gives us a little bit of an introduction, tells us about classic mode, which is you can go into just a normal screen, like I say, when you booted the VIC20 up. So you'd have like, you know, your basic screen for you to type 10 load, you know, or whatever you're going to do. And the carousel mode, which is basically the idiot-proof guide to all the games on the machine. Just goes over, tells us a little bit about that. How we connect. Well, these things are really easy, aren't they? Like most machines we have now, power in to the wall, HDMI machine to the TV. Jobs are good. Initial setup tells us how we go about that. Just selecting the language. Tells us about the buttons on the joystick, the various ones, which I'll show you in a minute. And that's it, basically. That's it, just your basic guide. Nothing in there that, without sounding arrogant, that we need to either worry about or we haven't seen before. Okay, so having a look here now, we get our basic USB power. This obviously is set for Europe there, with the 3 pins, the United Kingdom. USB port there, okay. Same as like your mobile phone, your iPod, you know, iPad, whatever, just a standard USB. We've all got loads of them anyway lying around, but it's nice because there are some of the machines that don't actually come with them. Obviously, they presume the fact we've all got loads of them anyway, but you know, hey, I'm buying a product, so give me a. Do you know what I mean? Not too much to ask, is it? Okay. Standard. Oh no, not, sorry, tell a lie. Mini USB to USB, that is your power cable there. And the last one out the box is again something that we've all got loads of by now, folks, the HDMI lead. Okay, there we go. So that is the not boring stuff, but the usual stuff out the way. So let's take a look at this joystick then. Okay, so straight away we see the 2-button standard. This is like nice little bit of bounce on them as well. Okay, micro clicks. Nice. And automatically feels like a really sturdy joystick. As I say, it's colour coded with the computer itself. Okay, so that's nice. Ignore the bang there, sorry. Trying to do everything. Okay, so what we've got then, folks, we've got the 2 buttons there. So you'd use either, because games back in the day used to just have a fire button. Do you know what I mean? A fire button would be like, shoot the missiles out your ship, jump over things, you know, there we go. Not your 25,000 features on like an Xbox game now where it like sits there and leads you through for 3/4 of an hour. Press this to do this. Nah, you didn't. You had one fire button, so there's the fire buttons, okay. Now we've got various buttons on here. Now these are like menu buttons, I presume, where it work with the interface on the actual console itself. We've got 4 buttons across the bottom here. The main one being the menu button. You push that and it brings up like a menu on the screen that like overlay for you to be able to like save your games, change your games, stuff like that. So yeah, as a sort of standard USB. Now what's nice, and I am wondering, to be fair, is this joystick is exactly the same as the C64 Mini. So could I, in theory, plug in both joysticks and have like 2-player games? Yeah, you know, just a thought. Okay guys, so that is the actual product itself. What I'll do is I'll get the box and I'll read you a few of the games off. Well, what I'm going to do is, because I've actually reviewed the C64 and those same games are on there, I'm just going to read the VIC20 ones, okay? Because we are talking about this machine initially being a VIC20. Okay, so Abductor, Andy's Attack, Arcadia, Bewitched, Blitzkrieg, Brainstorm, Catcher Snatcher, Connect 4, Encounter, Frantic, Frog Chase, Grid Runner, Harvester, Headbangers Haven. Headbangers Heaven even. Okay, Hellgate, Laser Zone, Martians, Matrix, Megavolt, Mega Galactic, Llamas Battle at the Edge of Time, Psychedelia, Snake, StarQuest, Subspace Striker, Tank Battle, Trax, Wacky Waiters, and Zare. Okay, so they are straight away the VIC20 half of the machine. So look, I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to unbox this. There might be VIC20 features further down, maybe next year, I don't know. But I just want to basically unbox this, folks, for two reasons. First and foremost, to show it to you guys, let you have a look in the box and see if it's something you'd like to buy. Secondly, and closely followed behind, I want to hook it up to my TV and just get VIC20 retro gaming. Okay, so thank you for watching the video. Before I go, if you're new here, you like what you see, please consider clicking that subscribe button. If not, hey, thank you for watching the video. Honestly, I do appreciate it. Feel free to share the video with your retro buddies. Leave me a like. It helps the YouTube algorithm. More importantly than all of that, folks, okay, leave me a comment below. Okay, did you have a VIC20? Are you a collector? Do you own a VIC20? Tell me your favourite games. Would you buy one of these? Do you think it's just a cash grab from the C64 Mini to the C64 VIC20 Maxi, basically to get you to drop another 100 quid or whatever on a full-size machine? Let me know your thoughts, guys, because I think this is really unique, and I think the idea of actually having that keyboard is fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, folks. I'll see you again next year for another retro feature.